since na-mention nyo po na parang bumalik kayo dito, sino pong nag-inspire sa inyo or was it a decision for you? Like decision na parang bumalik talaga dito and magstay po since nagpunta na po ata kayo ng US.
Yes. Okay, so let's jump from 6 years old to 60 years old. That's a good way to put it. So yes, I went to college here. I studied in Baguio first for 1.5 years, and then I moved to Manila. After graduating from college, I went into business because I come from a very humble origin, and I like to help my family, have a better life. Because I believe then what I learned in school and what I learned in church, that our indigenous way of life is all the beautiful words like backward or primitive or savages. So I like to be a scientist and change my lifestyle. So I went into business. I was the first one in our family who had extra money that I can actually afford to travel overseas. I was the first one to have a house like this here in Sinakin. That's the biggest house in 1986 when I built that. I was the first one to have a car, first one to have a refrigerator, and that the first television in Sinakin. Everybody want to come to my office after school. They had children come and they like to watch TV, even if the signal was not strong then. So then when I met my wife, who is a former Peace Corps volunteer, I moved to the United States. But not only because I'm married to her, I wanted to pursue higher education. So I actually applied for graduate studies before I married her. But when we got married, I used my marriage certificate to get a visa faster. So I went to graduate school. I got a double master. I tried to find work, and it's hard for me because they don't recognize my experience here. And I was self-employed, so it doesn't count to the work I applied for. I took international affairs, my first master degree, and then geography, focusing on biodiversity conservation. Because at that time I like to work for an international organization and make a difference. Be a developer. Wow, very altruistic. But then in one of my classes, actually, that's the first thing that sort of hit me hard inside, that allowed me to look back in my life. I took a geography class, and the professor was using a documentary done by the late Professor Harold Conklin, an anthropologist who studied Ifugao for more than 30 years. It was about the Hanunoo agriculture. This professor showed it. After the show, he knew that I'm from the Philippines and that I worked for Conklin briefly. My father worked for Conklin since he died. So this professor knew. After the show, he did not ask for my opinion, my comment. So I was sitting there at the back. I said, wow, I have to travel halfway around the world. I have to go to higher education to appreciate how beautiful my culture is. And I was actually a little hurt that I was not acknowledged. So I was the way that I will sort of laugh away that hurt feelings. I just talked to my friend that this professor did not even recognize me because I was not wearing my cheese string. I'm not an indigenous. But that really hit me. Wow. To go to higher education, my culture. And then other one that really made me think deep into my life, deep into my life is a documentary titled Bontoc Theology. Have you seen that, any of you?
We haven't, so.
Bontoc Theology. It's about the World Fair, 1904 World Fair that's held in St. Louis, Missouri. 1994 was when United States uh, invented electricity. So they tried to show to the world how advanced they are. So what they did is they brought to the U.S. Selected representatives of indigenous people, and over 100 were from Mountain Province, Bontoc. They like to show to the world how primitive, how backward these people, so they have a reason to educate them and teach them religion. They need to be saved. But that really hit hard on me because as if we were zoo animals. And what really hurts me is that these Bontoc people were forced to slaughter one dog every day because that's how they promoted the fair, that World Fair. So they will get a lot of fair goers, a lot of media people talk about the Igorot as half naked, and dog is their staple food, which is not true at all. Even meat, even egg, we do not just eat that. It's only eaten during ceremony. There is one ceremony, healing ceremony, that uses a dog. But they describe it as a staple food. So every day for 72 days, it's over 3 months, I think. They slaughter one dog. That's traumatizing. So imagine an American person, if their staple food is, let's say, French fries. What will happen if somebody will force them to eat French fries 3 times a day for 72 days? They will be traumatized too. So I was really angry inside me. So I thought of making something dramatic too, to sort of rescue the honor of the Igorot. So as I was thinking of what I'm going to do, I started dreaming about the Ifugao hut. I had been dreaming that there were some Ifugao huts who were brought to the United States, but they were abandoned. And then later on, I connected it to the trauma, colonization, how we were colonized and they changed our life. So I thought of using this Ifugao house. I like to build an Ifugao house and invite educated Igorot to come and perform. But this time, we are going to show the world that we have something to show, we have something to teach them. We are not for display. And I thought of charging too, but the money should go to us, organizers. So I started sort of brewing that idea. And then when a group of expats, Filipino Americans who are in this state, there's actually a group who are trying to promote indigenous spirituality. when they found me and they know what I'm doing, they said, you should not do it alone. We will help you. So that sparked my interest. But then some things happened and we did not really push through. I was sick with an ailment that incurable according to modern medicine. So it was a shaman, lady shaman from the Native American side to help me. And what he did is similar to the Bhakti, the spirituality of Ifugao. So at that time I decided to come home and be initiated because also at that time I had been unhappy in my life. You know, I tried to hide my anger, my discomfort in life. Uh, my wife was kind, we had beautiful children, but I get hurt with the way I was criticized. So I was sort of confused in my life. So after that healing done to me, I called my father and I said, I'd like to come and initiate me. But because I lack resources, whenever I come, I don't have enough time to spend and actually be initiated. So I decided to be initiated in the US according to the Andean shamanic tradition. It was only in 2011 that I managed to come and I got initiated by my father. Uh, long story. Okay lang ba?
Yes po.
Piliin lang ninyo ang gusto ninyo.
Yes, sir.
So I started building that hut. I separated with my wife in 2015. I moved the hut to New Mexico. And then something happened there that I did not like. I felt they were taking advantage of me. So it was in 2018 that I decided to come here and use Ifugao as my base. Because by that time, you know, after I connected with this group promoting indigenous spirituality, there were many people from there who like to connect with me and study with me. I'm invited to talk to international conferences. So I decided that I should come here. And those who like to learn should come here. Because whenever I come home, I observe that what am I teaching in the US? This Ifugao tradition. I come home and I don't see this Ifugao-ness. We are changing. So it doesn't make sense to me to be teaching outside Ifugao when Ifugao people are going the other way. So I decided because I need to make this my day. And I decided to simplify my life, actually farm. I like to show to not only to the Ifugao, but those who are ready to go back to simple living. I like to show them that we can actually perpetuate our ancestral way of life, the way of our ancestors. Very simple, but they are way healthier than us. So that's my inspiration, bringing back the good health, that my memory as a child where there's respect and we take care of the earth.
Since you mentioned po being shaman, can you tell us through paano po kayo naging shamanist?
Shamanism,
Shamanist.
I use that term because when I was growing up, I have been hearing paganism, but I studied world religion, and Baki is not really paganism. Paganism is found in Europe, but because the Christians who came here and Christianized us, it's because we are not following Jesus that they just say paganism. But the closest to the Baki is shamanism and animism. That the organized religion that best describes Baki.
You mentioned po kanina na you wanted to become a developer. In what terms po ang gusto nyong i-develop?
When I was in school, yeah, I like to follow this modern way of development, where the term development is equated to physical and monetary aspect. But over time, I changed, especially after taking my biodiversity research. I changed my way of looking at development. So if I will describe our life in the past, we are already highly developed. Yeah, because our ancestors understand the importance of this respect, respecting the interrelationship of life. They took care of this earth. So these terraces, they are very small, but it's sustainable. It fed many, many generations. What are we doing today? We are building roads because that's development. It destroy the water save, but that is supposed to be development. When you run out of food, you cannot plant rice on the road. So kahit na maliit ang rice field, it's sustainable. They terrace it, they learn techniques of using stone to retain the soil from eroding. So you can actually maintain it for a long time. Compare it to modern farming now. Just commercial gardeners, they use the Chinese raised bed technique, where they actually dig the soil, raise a bed before they plant, and then they use herbicide to kill the weeds. So it's